You would think I'm out here in the North Pole, but you're wrong. I'm in the Surrey Hills, down in the south of England, and I have a very special bike here. It's an absolute workhorse for a man that potentially could win the World Cup of downhill. This is Brendan Fairclough's Scott Genius 700 tuned. Right, I'm going to kick it off with the frame, and this is a Scott Genius 700 tuned in a large size. And it's a full carbon fiber front and rear triangle. And in the middle here, he's running the original Fox shock in the rear. This is 150mm of travel. Setting-wise, PSI-wise, not too sure. I'm going to have to bring him in to ask that question. Also, what I can see, there's a chip in the shock, and you can run it a high BB or a low BB. He's got to set it on low as well. Another question that I'm going to have to ask him as well. Right, moving down to the drivetrain of this bike. I'm going to kick it off with these crank arms. These are the DMR Axe cranks, 165mm in length. And then pedals on this bike are pretty special. These are his signature pedals. These are the Brendogs. These are the DMR Volts. And also, what's also a bit special about them are these pins. These are called King pins from DMR as well. And these are prototypes, so you'll probably be seeing these out on the shelves sometime soon. Moving on, he's got DMR Blade 32 tooth sprocket up front. He's got a nice Syncros chain guide up there to keep that chain intact on that rough terrain. Moving to the rear. Right, he's gone for the Sram X01 setup on this bike. He's got a massive range of gears. This is a 12 speed, so it's a 1x12, and this is the Sram Eagle technology, and look how big that top sprocket is. Massive. Right, moving on to the wheel build of this bike. It's a pretty aggressive build on this bike for a trail bike, to be honest. These are downhill rims. This is the Syncros DH 1.5 rim. And he's running exactly the same setup he does on his downhill bike. So I'm going to have to ask him a few questions about that. But the rubber to give him all that grip out there on the trail, he's running a Schwalbe Nobby neck at a 2.4. Right, and up the front, he's running a Schwalbe Dirty Dan at a 2.35 as well. But this tire is super aggressive. And what I've noticed is he's cut it down just to give him that little bit more faster rolling pace, because it is a super aggressive tire and it's a spike tire as well. So that's a mud tire. Right, now suspension wise, take a look at this. This is Boss Suspension's new trail fork, and it's 160mm in length. And I do like it. There's a few features on it they impress me quite a bit. And look at this. This is a cutout in this crown, and then up top here, like what they've done on the top crown, they cut that bit out there, and a few nice dials for his compression, his rebound, and all of that goodness. Settings, I'm gonna have to ask him. Right, now the cockpit of this bike where it keeps it in control out there on the trail. I'm going to kick it off with a stem. This is the Copperhead from Deity. It's a 50mm length stem. It's an oversize on there, so it's quite aggressive. Just give it a bit more strength on the trail. And then the bars on this bike are Deity Black Label bars as well. And this is a 30mm rise bar. Now the grips, these are super special as well. These are DMR's Deathgrips, super soft race grips in black. They have a signature on there, and they've got the S4P logo on there as well. Now, the brakes on this bike, all that stopping, all that speed needs to be controlled. Now he's got these TRP brakes. These are the G-Spec, super aggressive, 4-part brakes. These are downhill brakes on a trail bike. He's got a Sram Eagle X01 shifter there to match all that on the rear. And he's got his dropper post. Talk about the dropper post, let's go there. This seat post is new from Syncros, and it's 150mm of drop on it. And then on top of this, where he mounts those buns, is the Syncros XM 1.0 saddle with carbon fiber rails. Right, it's enough talking about Bren's bike. I've got a few questions that need to be answered, so let's call Brendan in. Come in, yeah.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, right.
You well?
Yeah, good. But your bike is set up way different to mine.
Unique.
It's very unique, yeah. Talk me through it, because there's a few things I need to answer, but you might give them to me straight away.
There's method in the madness.
Okay, yeah.
So my reasoning for setting it up like this is I want it very similar to my downhill bike. I want to get on this, and it's a training bike. I want to rip downhills as fast as I can. Yeah. It's not necessarily to do long 3-4 hour trail rides. I want to get in, do a 2-hour ride as many downhills as I can, and for it to be as quite specific to my downhill bike as I can, which for me is starting with the 165 crank. That's the DMR Axe 165 crank, which is the same as I have on my downhill bike.
You run that spec on your downhill bike as well?
I run that exact spec on my downhill bike. Wow, I run the my signature pedal with the Kingpin. It's a slightly bigger pin.
Yeah.
Just for that extra grip on the rough downhill track. So I get used to that on my trail bike. I get used to the 165 cranks. So I get the same cranks on my downhill bike. I don't clip the rocks and roots and everything.
Same brake setup as well on your downhill bike?
Yeah, absolutely. The new TRP G-Spec brakes. It's
G-Spec.
G-Spec, yeah, which should be called B-Spec, but it's the G-Spec.
G-Spec.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Okay. Maybe I win a few World Cups, I might get a B-Spec brake,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But but that's the 4-pot brake, same as the downhill bike. Get the same feeling.
I see you running the same rims and setup wheels. You run these on your downhill bike as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone for like the same downhill wheel.
Yeah.
Purely so I can run the normal tyres as I would on my downhill bike. I wouldn't run the Nobby Nick, but I definitely would run the cut down, dirty Dan. It's good in the loam of the Surrey Hills.
Yeah,
you cut the turns and it's the same, and it's what I would run. Also going onto the fork, it's a 160mm fork, which means I can just have the front up a little bit higher, and it's a bit more of an aggressive feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all very similar.
Deity bars, I've not seen this setup, you know, these.
Yeah, it was something quite special coming out of Deity very soon. I've got a custom bend and bar coming very soon, but that's all very hush.
So that's coming out soon, potentially.
Yes.
For you
yes,
to buy.
Yes.
What's the width of your bars?
On this bar, on my trail bike, I like a 770. I'm quite weird. I like to have my trail bike 770, my downhill bike a little bit wider.
Okay.
Just because if I get off my downhill bike, then onto my trail bike, and I think my trail bike's my downhill bike, we're going to get into a big world of pain, and we're going to end up hurting myself.
You're going off something
so I like
a bit
it
big.
a bit different, yeah, just a little bit narrower.
Yeah.
And then we also have the new 150mm dropper post from Syncros.
Yes, I noticed
which is
that. It's pretty good.
Amazing for what we do. You know, we like to ride steep tracks. You want to get that seat out of the way.
Yeah.
So you can have the seat right down and drop it right out of the way. And then when you go to climb, it's at your normal climbing height.
All right, thanks, Bren, for showing us your bike. It's pretty unique. I do love it. I might take a few of those things and put them on my bike. But if you want to see another pro bike from another Surrey Hills rider, click down here for Ollie Wilkins' pro bike. Smash the globe if you haven't subscribed already. Take it away, Bren.
Thanks, Blake. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, Deathgrip movie is on Netflix. Check it out.
Give this bike a thumbs up.